For a special report on women's rights in Pakistan, I'm Angie Briggs. In a time when many in Pakistan are discussing women's rights, we will look at Sharia law, how women's rights have been violated, and what has been done in Pakistan to help women. For a closer look on Sharia law, as it pertains to women's rights, we have Sam Foster.
Sharia law can be good if it is used in the right way. It is a high set of standards that people can choose to live by. It should not be forced. However, the standards have been forced by the Taliban, which has occupied portions of Pakistan and has seeped into Pakistani culture. Under altered definitions of Sharia law, a woman cannot leave her home without a man. She must dress modestly, including head coverings. A wife can be beaten by her husband. A woman's vote is worth only half of a man's vote, and female rulers are frowned upon. Many other basic human right violations are put on women, including the permission of raping a female captive. Not all Pakistani men treat women this way, but the oppression of women is real and leads to other atrocities.
Thank you, Sam. With more on what atrocities women face under extremist interpretation of Sharia law is Marissa Salgado.
Thanks, Angie. Honor killings are some of the most heinous crimes done in the name of Sharia law. This is where parents or other family members stone, strangle, suffocate, poison, or in other horrible ways murder the females they feel have offended them. One reason for the murder can be something like refusing to enter into a marriage contract, or maybe something as small as wearing something that the family felt was inappropriate or immodest, or really anything any family member deems shameful, even if the actions are quite innocent. There are an estimated 1,000 honor killings per year in Pakistan, though many feel this number is actually higher because so many killings go unreported. An alternative to the honor killings are acid attacks. Acid attacks is when a corrosive substance is thrown into the face of females, disfiguring and punishing these girls for her violations. Some of these girls, though, are quite lucky because they have been able to find advocacy groups and surgeons who are helping repair their faces and their lives. Another common crime committed against females are girls who are being forced into early marriages. Early marriage violates the rights of these girls by eliminating educational and vocational opportunities. Marrying very young also increases health risks due to adolescent pregnancy, and according to the United Nations, the leading cause of death in girls aged 15 to 19 are from pregnancy complications. Also, because these girls are so young, they are at higher risk for domestic violence because they are so vulnerable. Young girls, however, are not the only victims of abuse. Under Sharia law, any male family member can beat a woman of any age if he feels the violence is justified.
Clearly, women's rights have been violated. With more on what has been done in the past to help women is Julia Grace.
In 1979, the United Nations General Assembly adopted the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, or CEDAW, described as an international Bill of Rights for women. As a member of the UN, Pakistan is legally bound to put its provisions into practice. They are also committed to submit national reports at least every 4 years on measures they have taken to comply with their treaty obligations. In 2007, the Committee on the CEDAW submitted areas of concern and recommendations to Pakistan, including allowing Pakistani women to pass their nationality to a foreign spouse, equalizing the value of women's testimony, taking sufficient concrete action to ensure that judges, magistrates, and law enforcement personnel are sufficiently familiar with these legislative reforms, and Qisas and Diyat law, which allow for the victim of violence or his or her heir to determine whether to exact retribution or payment of compensation or to pardon the accused, thus providing impunity for perpetrators of violence against women, especially perpetrators of crimes committed in the name of honor.
Thank you, Julia. Those are definitely some positive steps to help women. Antonella Fernandez has the follow-up on what the Pakistani government is doing now to protect and empower women in Pakistan.
This last decade, Pakistan has approved different laws concerning women, as well as many acts that aim to prevent violence against girls and women and provide punishment for aggressors. The Prevention of Anti-Women Practices Act, Anti-Harassment at the Workplace, Domestic Violence Act, and Anti-Rape Act are huge changes for the protection, benefit, and empowerment of women. But even with all these reforms in place, authorities are still reluctant to pay attention to victims' claims and show apathetic attitudes when asked to enforce the law. From now on, Pakistan needs to focus on stronger enforcement of these laws and revise them to make them more inclusive.
I agree, Antonella. As long as women and minorities are seen as inferior, it will be hard for them to enforce their rights. Pakistan needs to encourage and protect girls who go to school. Educated women can stand for their own rights and demand the government respect those rights. Malala Yousafzai said, "Extremists have shown what frightens them most, a girl with a book." This has been a special report on women's rights in Pakistan. Thank you for watching.